to you. This is Breakfast with Stephen and Anne. Let's have a look at some of the newspapers for you this morning.
The Sunday Telegraph says Sajid Javid and Jeremy Hunt are calling for tax cuts, corporation tax cuts. The paper also reveals Mr Javid plans to scrap the controversial national insurance hike, which was introduced during his time as Health Secretary.
The Sunday Times says the Tories are tearing themselves apart over tax.
The Sun on Sunday leads with Christine McGuinness's marriage crisis. The Star has opened up for the first time about her relationship with her husband Paddy, saying they're having a difficult time.
Okay, let's talk through some of those with anthropologist Mariana Hotter and author and broadcaster Amy Nickel. Good to see you both once again this morning. Marianne, let's start with the Sun. Well, the Observer.
The Observer in the Sun. So obviously, gorgeous, glorious weather. It's going to be hotter than Mallorca, hotter than Santorini. But obviously, that comes with health warning. Look out for all those vulnerable people, the older people, the younger people in your lives, the people who might not do so well in the heat. Elderly people, it's harder to stay hydrated. Why are you laughing at me?
Well, no, because it's like, what are you meant to do? Go and stop people if you see them in the street saying, are you hydrated?
No, I mean, like, if you've got elderly parents or the person who lives next door to your neighbour, check they're all right. You know, because if you're not as mobile, you might not be able to get up and open the windows and feel safe in your home, so you're keeping the windows shut. If you're worried about security, you might not be quite so able to get up and get yourself a glass of water each time, or go around with an ice lolly. Give them a ring, say, how you doing? Do you need me to
Buy you
help
an
you
ice
with
lolly?
anything?
Oh, I'm being really sick.
What is wrong with you?
Really
Look out for people, that's my point. Also, between 11 and 3, stay out of the sun, make sure your kids have got sunscreen on, hats. Maybe don't encourage them to, like...
This is common sense, though, isn't it?
It is. Common sense is helpful. Like, wash your hands after you've been to the toilet. It's always useful to be reminded.
Do that in all weather, not just when it's hot.
That is also true.
I don't understand I don't know, it's a bit nanny state. The minute the sun comes out in this country, we get some health people saying, oh, you've got to be terribly careful of it. You know, we only get it for 2 or 3 days.
It was literally a news bulletin saying, make sure you wear a hat.
Yeah. Make sure you drink water. I get you if you know that there is somebody old and vulnerable, and that then literally, as you were saying, difficult to get up out of the chair to get a glass of water or open the windows. I totally get that. But it's this idea that people are meant to walk up to it to you. I mean, is it my age that people should walk up to me and say, are you managing in the heat? Can you, would you like me to get you a glass of water?
Well, not a complete...
Excuse me?
Well, you could be saying it to someone else who is older. It's not necessarily someone who's walking down the street. Stephen and Anne, I don't know what parallel universe you're on. The person who you say hello to at the garden gate, or maybe you see sometimes, or if you've got elderly parents or someone who's got a health condition, just be nice. Reach out to them rather than just going, right, get the pins on.
Yeah.
Flick on Wimbledon.
You can do that too.
It's all about me. I'm going to get belting hot and then call in with a sickie tomorrow because I've got a headache. Maybe don't do that. It's not very good for you.
I know, I've got steam coming out of my ears as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the nanny state. It
does feel a bit nanny statey.
Well, I'm not the state though.
No, I know. But the fact that we have to tell people common sense things.
I do like a reminder about the weather though, because you know then you can kind of plan a little bit more what you're going to wear, that type of thing.
Well, that's why
I know it's coming, okay?
Isn't it?
I can buy my hat.
Well, let's talk about people at home may be giving you a hand gesture.
Yeah.
They're only giving you a hand gesture. I'm just doing a segue. The Sunday Express is talking about the education secretary.
Stephen, you just took my amazing segue because Anne said she had steam coming out of her ears. So I was thinking somebody else that had steam coming out of their ears, but then you trumped me and did a better one.
Sorry.
Hand gestures, yes. So the new Education Minister, Andrea Jenkins, how long has she been in the job? 4 hours, something like that.
A long time.
As she was going in to Downing Street, she used a choice hand gesture. Are we all familiar with the clip? I think so.
Yes, she gave someone the middle
finger. The middle finger. And now she's had so much flack over this. It's honestly absolutely everywhere. So she's released a statement about it, and I think it's an interesting defence because she says yes, she should have shown more composure, but she lost her temper in the light of a baying mob outside Downing Street shouting at her all sorts of things. She says that in recent weeks she's had death threats and huge amounts of abuse, and she just lost her cool for that second. And that's the result of it.
I see. It has caused a bit of a storm.
Massive.
But some of those people who are outside on College Green deliberately causing problems, or there were mobs outside Downing Street the other day. I can imagine they were shouting things to deliberately try and provoke her and to be rude. And I can understand her just turning around.
It's like political paparazzi, isn't it? You know, when celebrities, when you get those pictures of them losing their temper, it's not because they've got anger problems, it's because the paparazzi are pushing. So who knows really? But there's another side of the argument that people are saying, no, it was just a crowd of ordinary people, maybe with complaints about the way the country's being run at the moment.
Making a civilised comment.
Yeah,
I'm really not very happy.
Civilised. No, you can be very angry in public. That's okay.
See, I have to say,
Your elected MPs.
I can be a bit of a prude at times and just think people should behave in a certain way in public life. I do think that. But when I saw the picture of this, I have to be perfectly honest. I just thought, oh, good on you.
Yeah, I have to say.
I mean,
my gut feeling was a similar.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, good, a human MP. I like it.
Yes, but
I didn't.
It's a distraction. It's not. It's not a big deal. I mean, I don't know that much about her her behaviour otherwise. Do you know what? I think if a man had done it, it might not have been such a big news story.
Well, do you remember when
I think it's like
Deputy Prime Minister Tony Blair, John Prescott, when he turned around and he'd had enough, and he had an egg thrown at him as well, and he just went for it. He punched somebody. But he had had enough of that sort of.
And when that was raised, Tony Blair said, "Oh well, John will be John."
Yeah, John will be John. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Times have changed, eh?
But he was sorely provoked. And as I said, somebody threw an egg.
The thing with this, though,
and he went for him.
Yeah. She knew she was going to walk 50 yards past a group of people who were incredibly angry, and they can't get to her. She's not at risk. That's why she's sort of smiling and giving them the finger, like, ha ha. I think for me, it's more the sneer on her face rather than what her hands are doing.
But she's done the right thing, you know, she's addressed it and she's pretty much apologised, which is a lot more than most politicians would have done.
Hey, it's more than Boris has done.
Hey, we know who she is now, don't we?
Yeah!
There you go. Maybe it was all a cunning
Oh my God!
plan.
Was it the political nip slip, actually, come to think of it?
Oh, there's it. Awesome. Let's have a look, Marianne, at, it's in the Sunday Express, actually, Sunday Express. Women who play football are better business people.
I think this one's a fascinating one. So obviously it's the Women's Euro, the UEFA Women's Euro at the minute. Lots of people watching it, cheering on the teams. They're all doing really brilliantly. But this is a survey that shows that women who play team sports, women and girls who play team sports, go on to have more confidence and better resilience to build their own businesses. So if you want your little girl to be an entrepreneur, encourage her to do team sports because it gives them a greater sense of belonging, a greater, a sort of sense of being able to be in a leadership position, lots and lots of confidence. And of course, you know, if you're active and fit and healthy, you can cope with the stress, you can cope with tiredness, you've got a healthy way of dealing with frustration, staying mentally and physically healthy, teaches you management skills, and so you're more likely, 3 times more likely, to have a good and viable business as an entrepreneur if you're involved with team sports.
Really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So there you go. Go the girls.
I think that's more testament also that we need to put a lot of emphasis on funding youth sports and youth clubs and really celebrating and nurturing that.
Well, our female footballers are doing awfully well at the moment too.
Yeah, they're ace, yeah.
Fantastic.
Tune in.
Look, we're out of time again.
Oh,
Marianne,
goodness.
Amy. I know. You only get a quick bite at the cherry.
Wow.
but we'll let you back in an hour.
Yeah,
So we'll look forward to
but
that.
go away and have a nice glass of water and do it.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Put a sun hat on because it's hot out there.
It's hot out there.
Oh, so-
No, it is.
Heat.
7-4.